What's up? How we doing, everybody? I'm DJ Jekyll 65. I will be your host on this occasion. I typically don't do these kind of videos, but this one's important, and I want to talk about the California fires going on and how I think the Navy slash Coast Guard could have came in to save the day. I am not blaming them. In fact, I'm blaming the California mayor and governor for not taking actions or allowing actions. It's their fault. Plain and simple, not going too much detail about it because I think if you're already here, you probably know more than I do, and I appreciate that. But what I don't hear is people talking about what the Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard, and Army, and National Guard, and all that could have done. Because a lot of these cities have one way in, one way out, and if the road is blocked or obstructed or unsafe, I know from experience. I was in the Navy. I was on a carrier aviation boatswain mate. Was also part of the crash and salvage, which is firefighting of the Navy ship for the carrier, and that's what we did. We fought fires, and if we can send helicopters and ships out to islands that have volcanoes on fire or volcanoes erupting, excuse me, with volcanoes erupting and lava, and we can get people in and out, I think we could have handled something like this. And they keep talking about not having water. Well, there's a lot of different ways to fight fires without using water, but the Navy and the Coast Guard, we definitely have water. Also, because of the salt in the water, we are quite aware of that. We are prepared for that. We can take care of that. But that's just one part of what the Navy and Coast Guard can do. For example, we could hold people. And I was in 2002, the Nimitz class. The carriers are like twice the size now. We carried 8 to 10,000 people. I can only imagine what they can carry now. I'm sure they can carry at least 15,000 people. You know, we were made for 5,000, but typically we had 8,000. But in case of a crisis, we had to bring people on. We get up to like 12,000 people, and that's just what we can hold in the carrier. You know, if we're just holding people to transport them other places, whatever, then you could fit thousands of people on the flight deck itself. You know, it has a 40, 100,000 ton displacement. You're not going to sink it. The weight's not going to sink it. Look at the equipment. Plus, we don't need towers. We have our own electricity. We don't need towers for communication. We have our own. We have satellite. And on top of being able to hold people, there's another thing we can do is we have food. We've got water. We have hospitals, we have medical facilities, you know, we have all kinds of stuff. We're a floating city. If the city has it, we have it. And nowadays, actually, with things going on in, California being a Democrat state, not trying to talk bad about Democrats. I know some people that are friends and they're Democrats. I apologize, but I got to get the information out there, so please. But the carriers and Navy, we have more than what cities have. We have more resources than what cities have. We have more uh, I guess, ability. I don't know how else to put it. Fucking crazy, right? But like I said, coordinating with the Navy and Coast Guard, these planes can land on the water, on the carrier, whatever. Um, they can get refueled by the carriers, destroyers, frigates, oil rigs that have that. I haven't been in the Navy in a while, excuse my terminology, but we could have refueled them, resupplied them, get them going. Plus, we know how to fix stuff, so we could have done emergency repairs as needed. Plus, um, getting helicopters out there because there's the water. There's like I call them like water bomb. It's like a water pellet. It hits the ground and explodes. Water comes out of it. But you also have chemicals that you can dump to fight the fire like this. There's also ones for that displaces the oxygen. I'm sure people know this, but they just weren't thinking about it. You displace the air, you remove the oxygen from where the fire is. The fire can't breathe. Fire needs oxygen to breathe. You remove the oxygen, fire goes out, and that's one way to fight fires without using water. I mean, firefighting is nothing new. There is nothing new to that. So I think they could have gotten the Coast Guard, you know, Let me show you a cool Coast Guard. Because in the Navy we used to make fun of them, but and I know people might say, well, they don't shoot onto land. Oh yes, we can shoot onto land pretty far. But on top of that, if we're helping with evac, we have more than one mission. Like we don't do just one thing. You name it, we do it. That's just how the military is. We solve problems aggressively, massively aggressively. But like I was trying to say, is you got people evacing, so we could clear the road, make the road, keep the road dry, keep the beach dry, and you would need boats like this. You would need ships like this to keep the dock and the beaches free and clear of fire. So as they get the Hummers and Jeeps and trucks to the beach, evacuating people, the helicopters landing there, or helicopters making it all the way back to the ship, whatever. But they can get the people to the beach, and we keep the beach safe. As a military, as a extraction zone. Have the ships there. Then they have other smaller ships, whether they're boats, ships, yeah, little dinghies, whatever, all kinds of little boats to and from to the ships to transport. And you have these ships to keep them, from getting catching on fire. That would be a big help, get them to safety, which would allow the other firefighters out there to fight the fires rather than look for people. On top of that, having a couple fleet out there, I mean, the size of a fleet can be anywhere from 4 ships to 12 to 200. But on top of having a couple carriers out there, 2 or 3, you could have a cruise liner. Look at this island. This is an island. Look how big this cruise liner is. Good chunk size of the island. Get 2 or 3 out there. And like I mentioned, at least I think I mentioned that we have hospitals, we have medical, we have food, cruise liners, same thing. So you could get people to safety, and while they wait, they could become somewhat comfort, because right now they're all traumatized. So, and they always say, come together, come together. We need to work together, come together. Well, if they're stranded, this is, easier said than done. But if the armed forces and Navy and military would step in, and I know, like I said, California's not allowing it. Well, screw it. We're the military. Come on in. Do what we got to do. Martial law, whatever. Get people in, get them to safety. Do our job. Our job is to defend our land and our nation and our people from foreign and domestic, dangers, even if it's from, fires. I mean, look at these cool things that we have to fight fires and whatnot. I got to point that out too. So that's my 2 cents. Um, I want to know what you guys think of that. What really would have helped to get the Navy and Coast Guard and other armed forces involved to get in and just get shit done. Oh, and I was trying to mention, in Katrina we had pumps to keep pumping water out so they wouldn't flood. It's like 300,000 pounds or tons or whatever, or gallons per second, whatever it can do. It's astronomical. But you can also use that in reverse. They could also use that to dump water onto the land, or use it to fill up tankers. Just keep getting tankers, fill up the fire trucks, you name it. Whatever needs water, whatever can carry water, they could use it to fill it and get that out there. I mean, in the 1820s, when New York and stuff was catching on fire, they used buckets and stuff, and they handled it. And that was with limited resources and technology that they didn't have. What we have now, they didn't have then, and they had better success. So look at what we have now. We should be utilizing it. But that's my 2 cents. God bless to those people. My prayers go out to them. This is really devastating. This is hard for me to talk about. I can only imagine what they're going through. So prayers out to them. Bless. Hopefully we have a way more better outcome. I really want to know what you guys think. And if you're in the military, thank you so much. For those that are involved in this, if you come to my channel and see it, let me know your struggles, because I want to know, because I haven't been through this. I can only imagine what you guys go through. So if you want to, get some stuff off your chest, man, leave some comments. Let me know. Appreciate you guys. God bless and good luck to you. And I'll see you guys on the next one.